Today we're going to be discussing another character from Greek mythology, um, Prometheus. And he is also involved with a rock, like our friend Sisyphus from another episode. And so here we go.
So Prometheus is the titan who brought us fire. Is that right?
Yeah, he's the Titans are the group of gods that were before the Olympians. So most people in college and high school and casual reading of mythology, they're familiar with the Olympian gods, Zeus and Hera and, you know, Poseidon, all those gods. But I was really surprised to know that there were gods before gods. I thought that was pretty cool. That will make a good poem. So anyhow, the Titans were the powerful figures before the Olympians. So this guy Prometheus, uh, he has like some brother name, something like Andrometheus or something, and Prometheus means forethought. He's thinking before he does stuff, which is kind of interesting because thinking and trying to figure out life seems to be one of our themes of patroma therapy. And you're right. The story goes that he brought fire to humanity. And then there's also some backstory about he actually fashioned some little humans out of clay or something. Do you know what that story is?
Uh, Actually, I heard a little bit, and I was surprised when you said that titans are basically a younger generation of Olympians or of gods, right? It's just a
No, no,
reference
no.
to the old pre-Zeus generation, because Zeus was Olympian, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so like there's Mount Olympus in Greece, and there's Greek mythology. And most of what Western tradition, schools, colleges, and whatever, they'll teach mythology, Greek mythology, Roman mythology, all the stories about the different wars. But most people are familiar with the Olympians. And the Olympians has Zeus as the main guy. And then he's always doing bizarro things like changing into different animals and coming down to earth and having sex with women. Like he's out of control. But anyhow, back to the Titans. The Titans were the race of gods, gods with the lowercase g. They were the race before the Olympians, and the Titans and the Olympians had some kind of clash, just like fathers and sons have clashes for power.
Hmm.
It's like a power struggle.
Mm.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah,
I don't know.
absolutely. And you also said that the titan Prometheus created man out of clay, which I didn't know because he was associated with the fire. He brought us fire. Also, I don't know why he did that. Um,
Well,
do
we
you?
need fire. It's like it's part of like agrarian culture. You have to have fire to, I don't know. It's got to do with like the development of human civilization. Like people see how fire has a transformative property, and fire also has like mythological and you know poetic associations. But the idea that we wonder like where do we come from, like when we're little kids we think like where do we come from, and like we see our mother father walking around, and some in some places they say, oh, the stork brought you the story is the
Uh-huh.
stork, a bird brought you and just you landed here in our house. Or it's like people believe in Santa or the Easter bunny, like, oh, the stork brought me. And then after a while, as you grow up you slowly figure out like, wow, gosh, sex is something that's actually real. Oh, wow, that's weird. Like my mother and father had sex, and now I'm born. So the idea of like where did I come from and where am I going, I think is part of our patroma therapy theme. Like where do we come from? Like where did we arrive with a tabula rasa? Where are we going? We have all these tasks we have to do every day. So
So I understand
yeah,
that
it's a
you think that we've come from clay, which was made by Prometheus.
Well, I don't think we came from clay. I mean, I mean, and we have the story, you know, in Judeo-Christian culture. You look back at the scripture, they say, we come into this world with nothing and we leave with nothing. We were born, from clay that God,
Hmm.
capital G, God the Father, took, some mud or clay and fashioned a man out of it. And
From
then
ashes to ashes, what comes to my mind right now.
yeah, ashes to ashes means, we're going to die. Like that's for certain. Like that's like the given. And we come from nothing, we're going to nothing, and life is just a journey along the way. So all these various characters, Haji Marat or Prometheus or Sisyphus, they're on a journey too.
And you say
But
he had a
back,
brother?
yeah, he had a brother. And Prometheus is,
You said it means forward
well,
thinking.
there's actually no, wait a minute. There's actually three brothers because three is a magic number. Three is a magic number in numerology. So there's three brothers. You're gonna love this. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question. Who is the most famous character who carries the world on his back?
Atlas?
Yes.
Is that
Bravo,
one?
you
I don't
get.
know why I brought this up. It just came into my mind. I don't even know what
Yeah, that's right.
Atlas is. It probably
Okay, so the
another generation of
no, no, no,
gods.
no,
No?
no, no, no. It's one of Prometheus' brothers. There are
I did
three
not know that.
brothers. There are three brothers. The oldest brother is Atlas.
Mm-hmm.
Then,
Mm-hmm.
then we have uh, Epimetheus is the brother of Prometheus, and then we have Prometheus. So the oldest of his brothers, like three brothers in a family, is Atlas, who's carrying something on his back, which is kind of related to, you know, the heaviness of being alive, like the heaviness of life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Sisyphus has like a heavy load there.
And this Epimetheus, why is he famous for? What's he famous for?
He's not even famous.
He's famous. Okay, sorry.
No, he's not really famous. I'm saying what I mean by famous is that most people have heard of Zeus, most people have heard of Poseidon, most people that are kind of high school, college educated or read online, they've heard of the various gods. They've heard of Prometheus being chained to a rock. But I had only recently learned that Prometheus had this brother, and the name Prometheus means forethought, thinking beforehand. And Epimetheus, I looked up in this book I have by Robert Graves about the Greek myths. Robert Graves is explaining that Epimetheus means afterthought. So you have before and after. So I kind of think of them as the thinking brothers, Prometheus and Epimetheus.
Uh-huh.
But like our goal today is to discuss Prometheus and his punishment by the gods, lowercase g, because this is not, Christian Judeo stuff. This is like just the pantheon of gods. The punishment of Prometheus is to be chained to a rock, and an eagle is going to fly down and eat his liver, and then the eagle flies away. And then overnight, the liver grows back, and guess what? The next morning, the eagle comes down and eats his liver, and then the eagle flies away. So he's in this, bound situation that's like a no-win situation, kind of like Sisyphus. Like
Yeah,
it's a no-win. The rocks come. Yeah.
that's kind of crazy punishments, right? Because Sisyphus was chained, punished by the gods to push a boulder up a mountain, and Prometheus was punished by having an eagle eat out his liver for eternity. I don't know what the Greeks had some pretty crazy mythological punishments.
Well, they also gave us, ideas about philosophy and democracy and about architecture. So,
Of course, yeah.
They gave us all these different things, and the punishments that they think of are like archetypal, like they're symbolic, and they like, I mean,
So
like let me do this, like, what, like, if you were going to die, what would be some ways you would really hate to die? Like, I really do not want to be electrocuted or drowned. I don't want to, like, be electrocuted by a
yeah, I feel
fan.
you.
What 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 are some of your, like, you don't want to die this way?
I wouldn't want to go there. But um, okay, he gave us fire, right? And
Yeah.
Zeus didn't take it back.
Well, the thing is, the Titans found out about these new gods that were going to start taking control. And Prometheus was a forethinker. He thought, maybe I better do an alignment with Zeus, because, like, it's good to align with your enemies so they don't, like, kill you. So supposedly Prometheus aligned or made an alliance with Zeus, and then Zeus told him some stuff, and Prometheus went against Zeus. So Zeus became the new head god and was mad at Prometheus and exacted his revenge on him.
But he didn't take revenge on humans, and he allowed us to keep the fire, right?
Well, the fire was already given, and the fire was already given, and you can't take fire back.
Hey, do you remember that legend about Pandora box? Was that some kind of continuation of the story with Prometheus?
Yeah, there's um,
Like Zeus didn't take back the fire, but maybe he gave humanity this Pandora box as a way to exterminate people who have the fire anyway, or maybe not.
well, this takes us to the back to our little episode of Forbidden Love. We talked a little bit about Vronsky and Anna. We talked about what is forbidden, people are attracted to. You mentioned the death wish. Maybe we're attracted to death, or we do dangerous things like drive cars fast or go to bars during a pandemic. I mean, the somehow Zeus gives this box, and he tells this girl Pandora, everything's going to be good, just do not open this box. Kind of like in the Garden of Eden, we have the story of Adam and Eve, the prototypical, man and woman. God says, here you are in the garden, it's fun, you're naked, it's a lot of fun, just have fun, don't worry, relax, but just don't eat of this tree. Well, anytime someone tells you no, that's you're kind of curious about it. So I don't think people are bad. They're just, like, curious about the forbidden. So what do you know about Pandora? I know that there's this box that she's not
I,
supposed to
I
open.
always
Like it.
I always thought that Zeus gave it to humanity because he was unable to get back the fire which Prometheus gave us. But maybe I'm mistaken. You mentioned Adam and Eve, which is I'm just totally make some parallels with the Greek mythology. And do you think there isn't, like, there is no implication that getting fire is seen from the human point of view, unlike in the Adam and Eve story, where we can easily distinguish between bad and good, right?
Well, I don't know. The thing is, the tree that God plants in the garden, it's not just a tree. It's the tree of knowledge. And God puts it there. There's knowledge that he's given to humanity in the garden. But we're not, the story is in scripture, Adam and Eve were not supposed to eat of that tree. Like, there's tons of other trees in the garden. There's pear trees, apple trees, peach trees. I mean, all these other trees, but there's this one specific tree that God the Father tells Adam, do not eat of this tree. So, there's a snake also, which is temptation, kind of crawling around the tree, and Eve is hanging around, and she goes, well, let's just go see what it's all about. maybe we're not going to eat from it, but let's just go see. So there's this man woman thing of, maybe the woman tempted man to taste the forbidden fruit.
Yeah,
Women can be a little tricky.
exactly. That's why I'm having this feeling that Prometheus was punished by Zeus for trying to do the right thing. Unlike with the case with the woman, in the case with the woman called Eve, I I have this feeling that she was punished um, rightfully, some kind of right, because she's done the wrong thing.
Well, yeah, the punishment of Adam and Eve is that the gates of the garden are closed. Like there's so many paintings. There's like Milton has a poem like it's called Paradise Lost. The lost paradise, the lost original goodness. Adam and Eve are their punishment is they're to be sent into the world as humans, and they're going to have to wear clothing. They're going to be ashamed of their bodies, and woman is going to be subservient to man. That's your punishment.
Do you?
Go,
Yeah, yeah.
go do it.
Do you somehow reconcile the fire that brought Prometheus and the knowledge that you know
Yes,
Adam
yeah,
and
yeah,
Eve
yeah,
gave us
exactly.
when they ate the apple? That
Yeah,
Lucifer, Judeo-Christian tradition, as you said, a little bit different, but there is something that. Uh, okay, let me put it this way: do you think that Lucifer could be the equivalent of Prometheus? Because Lucifer was, God forbid, right? Lucifer translates as light bringer or morning star. I don't
no, no,
remember
no, no,
exactly.
no. Wait, okay, wait, wait, okay, wait, wait. So, so Lucifer is a fallen angel. Lucifer was not a human. He was an angel enjoying life in the celestial realm. And then Lucifer wasn't happy just being an angel. He was not happy. He wants something else. And so God said, "Oh, you want to challenge me? Go ahead." Or like in Turkish, they say buyurun, which means go ahead. So Lucifer, with God's permission, goes into the world to tempt God's people. But God has already given all of us free will, and it is our free will to do right or to do wrong. So Lucifer is a fallen angel, but he's also always associated with fire and temptation and damnation and forbidden stuff. So
Yeah.
you're right. And if you think about just even in comic books or comic strips or online memes, whenever anybody has an idea, it's a light bulb over their head, like, like thought and fire and light have also been kind of like associated with each other.
Uh-huh. Thank you. I just wanted your opinion. And the free will is, I'd like to discuss it with you one day. That's very
Yeah, let's
interesting
do that.
subject to me. Very controversial and huge topic. If we
It is.
get to discuss this, that would have been great. Um,
That sounds good.
yeah.
Let's do that. Well, another thing that's kind of interesting is that with these petroma therapy episodes, I've noticed that quite a few people like the episode about the ice cream and ice cream paradise, memories of childhood. And I was thinking that like what kind of ice cream would the gods like? Like what kind of ice cream do you think like Prometheus or
You just mentioned
Sisyphus?
Milton. You just mentioned Milton and Paradise Lost. So I guess there is no place for ice cream here.
There is none, not in no place for ice cream.
And it's all about fire mostly.
Quel dommage.
What's Quel Dommage?
Oh, such a pity.
Uh,
Quel dommage. What a pity. Yeah, because I think Sisyphus would like Rocky Road. That'd be his type, his ice cream he would like. But you're right. Like
yeah,
we
I
should be
remember you
very
told that was very funny because he's pushing this rock up the hill, and
yeah.
the road is rocky. So
It is.